Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel once again. So in previous video I have shown you how we can draw sweet pea perspectives plus sweet pea composition. You can draw all these flowers in different angle and you can create your own composition. Also you have learned how you can paint using line and wash technique. So this one is the first way. In the past I have shown you 4 different ways to paint sweet pea flowers, but in today's video I'm going to show you a different technique to paint it, and this one is the simplest one among all the techniques that I have shared in the past. So let's start with the today's video. So with the help of pencil I'm just defining my guideline where I need my flower birds, where I need my flowers and all those things. So not too much detailing into it. We are going to do everything with the help of watercolor. We are just defining the places where we want our flower birds and flowers. So at the tip of these strings you can create few flower birds, and then in the middle you can create multiple flowers having different perspective in it. Now we have learned how we can draw different perspective of sweet peas. If you have not visited my previous video, you can get a link into my description section wherein I have explained everything in detail how you can draw all these flowers. So this video gonna be simple if you refer to that video first. So once you have decided everything, like how many string you want, how many flowers you want and all those things, you can just rub the unwanted pencil mark. Still you can see the flower area and you can start painting. So I'm using this very light shade of pink color. So I have used very less pigment of color and more water to create this particular shade. And this is very important step, to use very light shade of pink, because I'm going to use 2 more shade of same color. So this one is the lighter one, and I'm creating 2 bigger petals left and right for all the 3 flowers that I want. I'm trying to keep my perspective in different angle, so you can define all these bigger petals as per your perspective, and keep the petals little bigger because we are going to create more petals with darker shade. Now for the flower birds also I am repeating the same thing. I have not created anything with the help of pencil. I am doing all these things directly with the help of brush. So if you are using smaller brush like mine, just push your brush a little bit and move your brush towards that particular direction so that you can get different shapes. So that is the only thing you need to do while doing this kind of painting, because we have not defined everything. We are just trying to create everything with the help of watercolor itself. Now for the flower birds I have used little bit of yellow color also to get hint of orange or red kind of shade around the flower birds, and that is only I am doing for the flower bird. Now this is the first layer. Let it dry completely and then you can start creating second layer of petals into it. Now second layer is little darker as compared to the first shade, and we are doing some overlapping as well. So do some overlapping based on again perspective. So I'm keeping these kind of perspective wherein in few I can see the base of the flower, for few I am not able to see anything. You can also overlap stems and flowers, and you can repeat the same thing for the flower birds as well. So try using darker shade and then blend it with the help of clean water and damp brush, which means not too wet, not too dry, and blend it until you will get satisfaction with your shading. You should see little lighter shade, little darker shade around your flower birds as well. This is my second layer wherein I have created few more petals around my flowers, and I have also given shades a little bit around my flower birds. And because I need little hint of yellow and orange kind of shade around my flower birds, so I'm adding little bit of yellow around it. You don't have to do it for all the flower birds, but at least few you can do something like this. Now with the help of green color you can start adding elements which is in green, like stems, sepals and leaves. So sepals are the base of the flower, which we usually see around the perspective, like towards the sky. But for few perspective you will not able to see these sepals. For those you can avoid it. Then you can create stems. I'm using my tip of brush to create all these fine elements. If you want, you can use a smaller brush to do all these things. Then once done with the stems, again, as I said, composition is totally up to you. You can create number of stems and leaves and all those things. And you can also add spiral kind of structure at the tip or in between flowers to create more elements around your flowers. Make sure we are adding sepals for all the flower buds we have. Doesn't matter what is the perspective of that particular flower bud, because flower buds are closed structure wherein we can see the sepals clearly. And you can also create a fine green structure around the middle area of the flower. Again, this fine green element in between flower is totally depend on perspective. Now let's come to the third shade, which is the darkest, and you can give little shade around your flower buds, like you can create few lines or you can do it around the edges. Try to blend it slowly and gradually with the help of damp brush. If at all you are not satisfied and you will end up having very dark color, then you can fix with the help of damp brush. And then with the help of darker color you can create couple of petals around your flower. Not too much, I'm not going to overdo it, but little bit here and there, like smaller petals you can create with the help of darker shade. So I have created only one petals with the help of darker shade and few smaller petals as well. Now it is time to create folds into the petals. Make sure your petals are dried completely. Start adding a triangle kind of pattern like this around the lighter shade of petals that you have. We need to do it with the help of darker shade so that we can see all these structure, and that is why we are able to see the perspective as well. As soon as I add these fold pattern into my petals, you can see the perspective very clearly, and that is why these folds are very important. I have added these folds into my drawing as well, so that is also needed in the painting too. In the past I have covered multiple ways to paint these flowers, different than today. So you can refer to those videos. I can give you a link into my description section. And all these 5 ways to paint flowers are very different from each other, so please have a look on those videos as well if you are interested. Now you can add more green elements around your flowers. You can add all these spiral stuff here and there in between. You can also create leaves. I'm just creating one stroke leaves like this, and with the help of very watery consistency of sap green color. I'm doing it purposefully because I want to add little hint of dark green as well in these leaves. So before it gets dried, you can add little hint of dark shade of green around your lighter shade. And because the sheet is still wet, it will blend automatically easily and gives you a very nice effect. So make sure you are doing this blending between two colors when your sheet is still wet, or else you can do it once your leaves gets dried, but make sure you are blending it properly. So it is easier to do all these things when your sheet is wet. Now you can add elements here and there until you get satisfaction with your composition. I'm adding few more stems in between, fine green structure like this, which is absolutely not needed or important, but you can do to make more elevation around your painting. And that's all we needed, and we are done with today's video. Hope you have liked it, and please give me your feedback if at all you have any. And thank you so much for watching my videos. See you guys in the next video.